Ladies and gentlemen, happy middle of the week. Welcome to Group Chat. We're here to touch base. And as always, things are more crazy than when we talked to you last.
Yeah, we have a crazy episode. But first, I give you a little detail of the pregnancy, the labor, the delivery, the process of having another child. So that's exciting. And if you're wondering why all those billboards all over town, why everyone's asking who the F is Dee, that question is answered.
I'm still
today.
wondering.
Still no clear answer.
It's been 11 years and I'm still curious. Okay, so we got answers for you. We got the whole rundown of Dee's birth. And of course, everything going on in the country. I mean, it's an absolute wild time. We're a little nervous, but, you know, we're going to get through it. And the good news is, if you have any bit of traction, any bit of following, and even something that resembles a business, I think now's the time to IPO. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about how the entire stock market is just crazy. Everyone ready?
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Hey, everyone. I am back after... Did I only miss one episode?
I think only one.
Wow. What a dedicated father I am.
Or a dedicated podcaster. One or the other.
Yeah, one of the two.
So we gave birth to our beautiful little baby boy, Miles Francis Murthy, coming in at 6 pounds, 12 ounces on August 29th, 2020. He's essentially 40 years exactly younger than me.
Yeah.
Which is pretty crazy.
Pretty much to the day, which is insane.
Yeah, almost to the day. Pregnancy, as you know, Anand, and delivery is wild. Wild experience.
It's the most surreal thing you can possibly experience, even as just the husband and father. Forget what the mom goes through.
Yeah, I mean, watching women deliver a baby is just the most amazing thing, because it's like, guys clearly can't do it and like can't even imagine the process.
Yeah.
And watching, and honestly, the anxiety for the entire 2 weeks leading up to it, because you don't know when the baby is coming, right? Obviously, you can do a scheduled C-section, or you can do a scheduled induction, which gives you some sort of relief. We didn't do that with either of our kids, so we were just playing the waiting game. Like, oh my God, I have contractions. Okay, now what do we do? Do we get ready for the hospital? At what point do you go? It's just the whole experience is just, it's real adult shit. Having a kid is real adult stuff.
Because what is it? 3 weeks before the due date is go time, and you can go 2 weeks after. So every night for about a good 5 weeks, it could be the day you rush to the hospital.
Yeah, I mean, that's why I stopped drinking a few weeks prior, because I was like, man, I don't want to be drinking and driving. And I did this when Dominic was born too. And, just you're on edge just because, and for us having another child, you're also who's going to watch the other child? So then luckily one night I finally called my mom and I said, hey, I need you to stay with us just in case we have to go in the middle of the night. And it's not during the day when we have our nanny. And the night she came was the night Haley went into labor.
Right.
And we went to the hospital in the middle of the night. And then you just wait and you wait and you wait. And then for us, it was I think we were in the hospital for 10 hours. And then the baby was delivered. With Dominic, we were in the hospital for 45 minutes and the baby came, which was nuts. Because we waited till the last minute. This time, the doctor was like, you need to go in a little earlier. So we go. And, just watching a baby just come out of a body is the most insane thing.
So how is it for number two? What's different?
It's really everyone jokes and tells you, hey, having 2 kids is not twice as hard. It's 10 times harder. And I think the reality is that especially depending on the age of your other child. So with Dominic, he's 3. He's so active and needs our attention for everything. To actually leave him to now go watch this other baby is really, really hard. And I'll tell you the biggest thing I was nervous about outside of actually delivering, obviously watching Haley deliver the baby and making sure the baby was healthy and she was healthy, was that first interaction between Dominic and our new son. And I was so nervous about that because, Dominic has been given 100% of our attention. He was the first grandson. He was really like one of the first kids in, first one or two kids in our entire circle of friends. Right. Like, especially my college group of friends, he was the only child. So he was just spoiled, with attention and gifts and like, everyone, Dominic this, Dominic that. He was treated like a king. So my wife did an excellent job of like spending time and learning and reading how to introduce a new child to the family. So I think we did a good job of prepping. We didn't over talk about the baby. And I'll tell you what you really learn from this is that it's actually an incredible exercise for all people to learn how to talk to people differently because it is so sensitive. Like the amount of effort we put into making sure the first interaction. So I'll play it for you. We pretty much told everyone who came to our house to stop talking about the baby. And we said, we will kind of have those conversations with Dominic. Don't always say, are you ready to be a big brother? Are you ready to have a baby? Because to this point, Dominic has been the baby. And so we fast forward and the baby comes and, they give you all these tricks like make sure that you give a gift that comes from the younger brother that says, Miles got you this gift. So we got him like this hot RV with an ATV and a motorcycle. So Miles' first interaction with him was like giving him a hot gift. Right. You tell all your guests who do come over, so my parents, in-laws, if you guys come over, bring a gift. You guys gave him a USPS mail van. So he got a couple gifts. He sees the baby and he was, the day before when we were not home, we started telling him what's going on. And he was like, oh, my baby this, my baby that. The first interaction, he was like kind of interested, but not really. He's like, do you want to hang out with Miles? He said, no. And then he went and I'm like, Miles got you this truck. And he was like, oh, wow. And then we took the baby away because he had to get nursed and whatever, sleeping. And then he was like, where's my baby? Where's my baby? And so now they're interacting. He's, he gave him one of his dolls that he loves, like a Paw Patrol one. So it's just incredible. I was thinking about it. I'm like, imagine if we treated all human interactions that delicately. Obviously, it's not possible. Yeah. But if you had like so much concern what was coming out of your mouth when you interacted with people, it would make the world a completely different place because that's essentially why he is feeling comfortable in this situation because we thought about it so much. Think about it. When we hire a new employee, do we put that much effort into that process? No. Do you when you have a new friend in the friend group, you don't think about it. You just think in all those situations, I think it's like an incredible lesson just to on people management and people relationships, like how sensitive people truly are to a new dynamic. And we just don't consider that in our daily life. We just are just bulldozing through life.
So two questions. One, do you think he conceptually understands that he has a brother or just knows there's a baby in the house? Because he's 3, right? I'm curious when that transition happens.
I think he understands because I think we have friends who have brothers or sisters. Mm-hmm. So he knows that you have a buddy that's your new roommate. Right. And so for him, he was like, why can't he play? Why can't he sing? Why can't he dance? He's like, what's this guy doing all day? So,
because I got it. That's pretty funny. And then the burning question that we all had from Sunday's episode, is Miles a marketing gimmick for the Run Club? Is that the genesis of the name?
So interesting, Miles was a name that Miles was a name that my wife really loved, and Dominic was named after the restaurant that we all her and I went on our first date, Little Dom's, out in Los Feliz, California. And so we wanted this name to mean and feel special. And she really loved the name Miles. And what's funny was we were thinking about all these different names, and I was like, they're great names, but like, we got to make some sort of a connection. So Miles was on her kind of list of names. And I started thinking about all the connections I have to Miles. And well, obviously the running one is clearly like, I've clearly put some pressure on the kid. He has to run now. Otherwise it would be all for naught. At least he has to be a walker. He just has to get a lot of miles in. Hopefully not a cyclist. And then obviously Miles Davis, incredible musician. And I'll be honest, I was never a big Miles Davis listener. The last 3 days, we have not nonstop listened to Miles Davis in the house, which has been incredible.
Interesting.
My friend Ian sent a incredible Miles Davis playlist that we've been playing loudly in the house. And then there's a very famous Robert Frost poem, Stopping by the Woods in a Snowy Evening. I think that's the exact title. But it has a very interesting line, and it says, miles to go before I sleep, miles to go before I sleep. It's a very famous poem. And that poem has been in my head since I was a child. And it's just like, the journey for me. And so Miles is so in that. And I think life is just this incredible journey, and Miles is what you accomplish on the way. And I thought, what a great name. It's a cool name. And I think it's unique enough where he will stand out. There won't be like so many in the teacher class, hopefully, that have the name Miles. But I think hopefully it'll mean something to him later in life. And yes, we will fully exploit it at the Grand Running Club.
That's what the roundabout way of getting to the right answer.
Yeah. And like, if you really think about it, I mean, Luke, and if you follow Luke, who runs marketing at Grand Running Club and runs our run club, he says every day, morning miles.
Morning miles for breakfast.
Morning miles for breakfast. So that sounds like you're eating my son now.
Well, that's good. Congratulations, Dom and Miles. Family of 4.
Yeah.
Very exciting.
Family of 4 is the real deal. So now I'm finally going to commit and start looking for this minivan. Because 4, like, we have 2 car seats in the back now in my wife's SUV, and space is tight.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's tight with 1 car seat. Can't imagine with 2.
It's a whole different dynamic. But like, as you know, when you have children, your whole like perspective and appreciative kind of feeling for life changes and what's important to you. And like, it's crazy to think what life was pre-children.
Yep.
Like, what the hell were we doing all day?
We must have had so much free time. Like, what did we do on like a Saturday or Sunday?
I mean, you would sleep late, obviously.
Yeah. I
would go for a hike. You know what it was? It was like these long, drawn-out meals.
Right. It would be like a 3-4 hour
You would go to lunch and piss out 3 hours. Like, I would be at, like, Zinc for 3.5 hours.
The Hudson.
The Hudson.
Spent a lot of afternoons at the Hudson.
Exactly. And then all of a sudden, it's like 9 p.m. Let's go have a 10 o'clock dinner. Go out and like start the evening. And it's crazy just to think like how precious every minute of the day is now. Like if I have 5 minutes, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go do some push-ups.
Right.
Because I have 5 minutes to do some like workout or something. But it's crazy. And Dominic was born August 26th. Maverick is born August 24th.
Yep.
Miles is August 29th. I'm September 3rd and you're September 11th. So essentially, like 2.5 weeks, everyone's birthday.
Yeah, that's so nuts. 5 Murthy birthdays in 2 weeks.
Yeah, all boys too.
All boys.
That's as crazy as Kirsten, Carlene, Christine.
We're the opposite version of your mom and her siblings.
Yeah.
Yeah, and now we have. It's interesting because leading into that, I was planning, all my friends' 40th birthdays this year because we all were born in 1980. So I was thinking about like, what does the 40th birthday look like? And, the only one that we actually got to go to, I think, was Brian Toll's, which was in December. He threw his 40th, which was amazing. And then after that, all the other birthdays got canceled. Churchian's was supposed to be in Vegas. Our friend Mikey was going to do a big party. Like, everyone got canceled. And so I usually like to exploit my birthday for business reasons because I'm able to do sales. I'm able to create hype. So this year, decided to do the same. And with the help of a bunch of people on our team, we executed this campaign called Who the F is D, which started with what appears to be a lot of billboards all over the city, what appears to be a lot of A-list celebrities wearing a T-shirt that says Who the F is D, what appears to be skywriting with Who the F is D. And in actuality, it is all one big promotion for a huge birthday sale on September 3rd for Menlo Club. So we're launching a huge sale. If you sign up for Menlo Club starting Wednesday night through Labor Day weekend, we are giving away a package that's normally much higher for only $40 for your first month. And since we just launched Melrose Place, I thought that would be the best thing to gift everyone. You get 2 T-shirts and a hoodie from Melrose Place. And use the code. Pete, help me with the code. What is the code?
It's DB Day, if I remember correctly.
DB Day. So that's DEEBDAY. So use that code. It's only $40. And then I also, for all of our members, and I open it up for non-members, only for one day on September 3rd, 40% off all my favorite Menlo Club items. So like the pants I wore, which are the #1 pregnancy pants in the world. So for those guys that are cheering on the wives, you got this, you got this. I actually have a pant for you. It's very comfortable.
I don't know why I wasn't there shooting. I should have had a video camera in the delivery room.
You couldn't be in there.
Yeah.
Damn.
They don't let visitors in the...
We should have hooked up D with like a whole camera set up.
Yeah.
It's also gross, dude.
No.
Yeah.
It's for the pants
You know
versus.
what it looks like in there?
No.
Yeah.
I stay on the one side by the pants.
It's
I stay for the pants.
It's not that type of environment.
Not that type of party.
There are birthing videographers and photographers.
Oh, yeah.
You just don't fit the description.
Nope. I'm just trying to do hot girls.
Yeah.
Stick with that.
Yeah.
You're a
You stick
creep.
to hot girls. And don't go into like hot girl pregnancies either, please.
Oh, yeah.
What a
he
collab.
found his niche.
That's a niche.
All right, spread them. Your intake process. You're like, well, we got to see what it'll look like when we're in the actual room. Spread them open.
R&D.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
So yeah, please don't. Let's keep that out, Pete. And then we marked down like 10 items, 40% off, because keep the theme to 40. And if you're a former member and you want to come back, the code is RJDEEBDAY. All available on the menlohouse.com. Join the club. Check out the store. Where it's a big celebration for my 40th birthday. I will probably be at home with my 2 kids, drinking tequila by myself. That is my big plan.
No Zoom birthday?
Please don't.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to do it. I personally don't want to do it.
I'm kidding. It is kind of fun for a minute, but man, those things are a clusterfuck.
Yeah, I enjoy it with little kids because it's so chaos. None of them are paying attention.
Yep.
So it's actually kind of cute. But with adults, unless it's just like, I'm okay with not seeing any of my friends.
It's messed up, man.
I don't know. We had a fun one for Mikey's 40th because everyone, that group of friends, everyone just talks shit to each other.
Yeah, that's
so
probably
it's just
fun.
literally
Yeah.
people just roasting each other.
That's what I was thinking Dee's would probably be, and it would actually probably be pretty good. You could probably post that on the group chat
Jeffrey
feed.
Ross roast.
Yeah, just the roast of D.
Well, we'll be live streaming on
You
Thursday.
should do a live Twitch stream roast of D for your birthday.
Well, we are.
By
my God.
Anthony,
We
Mikey.
can
Yeah.
for a group chat. We go live on Twitch anyways
Yeah, but no,
on
I'm
Thursdays.
just saying with his friends are better
okay.
roasters.
Oh, right.
We could invite them
Some
into
real
the
talent
stream.
in there. Yeah.
Group
say,
of
like,
The
friends
problem is no one's going to speak freely
That's
with
true,
the camera at night.
That's also
Nobody
true.
wants to get canceled.
We'll just give the data to the Chinese. Don't worry. The Chinese can see the roasts.
Yeah. They can do what they
The
wish with it,
engineers.
as they are anyway.
So that's the big B day. If you want to do something for my birthday, hit the website at Wednesday, maybe 7 p.m., 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and we'll have a big sale. Support, buy something, or send me something really nice. I don't want cheap gifts. Think expensive. Think like don't be sending me like a $30 gift. There's no point. I'm not going to appreciate it.
Whatever you're thinking, double it.
Yeah. If your budget's 100, come in at 200.
This is the perfect time to be overspending on a stranger's birthday gift.
Yeah.
Get that stimulus check, buy Dee's gift with it.
By the way, you guys have no idea. Anand knows, but night nurses are expensive.
Yeah,
God.
yeah, I agree. Let's raise some, get Dee a nice gift.
Yeah.
It's got an expensive
Couple months
people to
ahead.
take. Yeah.
What's interesting is like, I follow a lot of young people on social media. They're showing like cars and they're showing jewelry or they're buying baseball cards or whatever with their money. And you just, if you have a family and you want to live the most comfortable life, the convenience and luxury of finding people to help you is the best way to spend your money. Not buying material things. Like if you're a family and you don't have all the convenience of help, but instead you opted to go buy nice cars or jewelry or shoes, it's just like a waste of money, in my opinion.
I feel like that's one of the big secrets that young, successful people don't know. I understand we're talking to a real niche audience here, right? But I think if you could get in the ear of these young people that start to make money and buy all this nice shit, shoes and your nice jacket, whatever for Instagram, if you could just say, trust me, save that because one day you're going to want that for a night nurse.
Absolutely.
Yes.
You know, like
It's a no-brainer.
Yeah.
Anyone that's planning to have kids in the next 18 months, start saving.
I'm lucky to have seen it because, my friends are a little older.
Yeah.
I've seen what it does. And so there are literally purchases where I'll think about it and I'll be like, I'd rather save that for...
I
mean,
honestly
a
think you
nanny-
should
a
start
nan-
post-wedding. You blow all your money at the wedding because that's very expensive.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter what skill you do. It's going to be a big dent.
Yeah.
Right after that day, every future dollar that could be spent on something stupid, don't do it. Put it away. Get a fucking night nurse.
Yeah.
And a nanny. I mean,
And a nanny, yeah.
a nanny, a nanny is like equivalent of a Lamborghini. A night nurse is a Lamborghini.
Yeah.
It's just- these are just
Private school's a yacht.
Private school's a yacht. Yes.
Yeah,
These things
man.
are so. This is why there's such a divide in the country. It's like you can actually continue on and I spend time with my kids too, but it's like you can't run a business, stay healthy, have some sort of mental freedom, and watch your kids 24/7 and shop like hell. Something has to give up. We gave up. We're like, you know what? This is the place we'd rather spend our money as opposed to doing all the other things we used to do.
Yeah. That's what's cool about travel lockdown is you're not tempted,
Yeah.
Like that Coachella house money could just dump that right into the nanny,
Yeah. Yeah, you can't afford to do all that.
You would have had to choose anyway. With 2 kids, you would have had to make a
Yeah.
choice anyway. It's just the pandemic made the choice for you.
Yeah, thank God.
Okay.
All right, let's get into some news.
Let's get into some news. All right. Coronavirus. Fake or real?
Fake in every way. I've tested the limits.
Now, I agree. That sort of makes me believe that there's some fraudulent reporting going on. So I don't want to say fake, not a hoax, because also I've seen a lot of videos of people who said it was a hoax and then got it really bad. So I don't want to be that guy. Not a hoax, but I'm worried about the reporting. And I feel like some numbers came out that said that maybe 6% of the total death numbers are legit. Sorry. The actual death is 6% of the real reported number.
Some people may call that fake.
A lot of people are calling it fake. A lot of people are calling it I don't know.
Some people say the virus will just go away.
Some people say UV light kills it.
Some people are fucking idiots.
What's happening here, man? So they started coming out and saying that the deaths attributed to corona it wasn't near that number. And now the boy Fauci's stepping in.
Yeah, so
and trying to lay down the law.
There was some report that came out end of last week saying that of the deaths reported of COVID, only 6% were because of COVID, and the rest was people that had pre-existing conditions that were going to die anyway. People read the report completely wrong and assumed
including
that
President Trump.
I mean, he didn't read the report. He retweeted it like a QAnon supporter.
Yeah, QAnon.
Yeah, QAnon supporter. And that's the problem is that like that study has now gone completely viral, and it's caused more harm than anything because there is one group of people that are interpreting that, only 6% of the 180,000 deaths were caused because of COVID, and the rest of the deaths, those people were going to die anyways, so it doesn't count. And then there's everyone else who says, okay, that's an interesting data point, but we still have to protect people with pre-existing conditions. What I don't think people understand, how much of America has pre-existing conditions.
Yeah.
We're an unhealthy nation. If you have obesity, you have a pre-existing condition.
Yep.
Diabetes, high blood, all these things are pre-existing conditions. That's like half the country.
Yeah.
It's
more than half, I think. Yeah.
And here's the real thing. So Trump administration ran with the news. Fauci came out and say, no, 183,000 people died of COVID.
So Fauci's like, he's turned.
I think he just respects facts and not alternate facts.
But he doesn't have to. Is the task force disbanded? Like, is he just on his own now?
I mean, he's clearly been sidelined. We rarely hear from him. He's done some Q&A stuff on Facebook. I think he did it with Zuck like last month. He does interviews, but he definitely has been sidelined as the official spokesperson for coronavirus for Donald Trump.
Yeah, because the last thing Trump wants is someone directly going against what he's saying.
Yeah, I mean, I think Fauci is probably extremely frustrated. And what's interesting is he was getting a procedure done on the day like a bunch of information came out. I think the day this report actually came out, I forgot what report it was, but they clearly want to sideline Fauci. Fauci's out today kind of debunking the myths of that particular report. And the thing is it's like everything else. It is so divided. I cannot find a topic on earth that's not divided on is there anything that everyone's united on? I can't think of one thing.
Definitely not here in the good old US of A.
No,
but like in America, is there something that all Americans are like, yeah, there's not a sports team, there's not a sports league, there's not a song.
You would think that the one thing like could have happened when we're fighting a global pandemic is to unify, but we just chose because of our president that 50% think it's fake, 50% think it's real.
Yeah.
But that's everything now. Every topic, if we went down all our news topics that we talk about every single day, there is a divide on every single topic.
iPhones.
So for example,
iPhones.
Monopoly in the App Store. Fuck Apple.
Everyone loves an iPhone.
No, there's Android people out there. The worst ones.
Yeah,
you're right.
Yeah,
Every
those
time
Android
that-
people.
that green bubble shows up, I don't trust that person.
Or their videos or stories are like glitchy
Okay, I was wrong.
and gross.
Yep, I was totally wrong. I was wrong.
There isn't one
Sports used
thing.
to be unifying. Now it's completely politicized.
Sports is the most divisive thing on earth.
But I would
There's
say
nothing more divisive than
25 years
sports.
ago, everyone was like, let's all watch Super Bowl and have fun.
No, yeah, for sure. Yeah, no, that's over. Yeah, and I can't. I'm honestly half trying to be funny and half trying to really think of something, and I can't.
There used to be like a song. 6 months ago, it was Old Town Road. At least we all liked that song.
United the country.
So it's so fascinating because it's clearly because of social media. Like there's no other answer, because if you think about post 9/11, I don't know how much of our audience is old enough to remember that. It was a unified country.
Yep.
Yes.
Everyone, after America's under attack, and it wasn't Republican Democrats, it was, we got to get safe. Can you imagine if 9/11 happened today?
Oh my God. Half the people would think it's fake.
Insane. It would
They
be
would
that
say it's fake.
It's Trump's fault. We don't believe in it. They deserved it. There would be all these factions.
Yeah, and then you'd have Antifa bomb the building.
Yeah. And then it would be white privilege.
Biden bombed the building.
White privilege.
Yeah.
For sure would be it.
9/11 would be insane. I think the country would burn.
It would burn.
Yeah.
I think it's the combo of social media and Trump. It was the perfect storm for like the tool for separation and then the leader of separation. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and he exploited it.
Exploited it to the max. Like you could not have done it better.
So the cat's out of the bag. So do we overcorrect at some point and get back to a normal country?
The only overcorrection is banning social media.
Yeah, no, I agree. Because I can't imagine. Like it used to be when the country's at war, everyone bands together, regardless of who's in charge.
I don't think it goes back. Because you also can't ban social media in the sense of you could, but now the internet exists, right? So like all these things would just start creeping up. You'd have some weird dark web Antifa stuff going on.
And there's complete distrust in institutions.
Yeah.
So you don't even trust the information of what we're getting. I really want to know, like 08 to 016, when Obama was president, we just consumed different news than the rest of the country?
Yeah, but here's what blows my mind. Whatever happened during those years allowed Trump to happen.
Yeah, of course.
So what I'm saying is, I think all of that information was bubbling somewhere. We just weren't.
Yeah, it was just bubbling in Facebook groups, I guess.
Yeah, because they were ready. I mean, the moment Trump, like, all right, drain the swamp. But like, where were they? What? I thought everything was good.
Yeah, I thought everyone was hopeful.
I didn't know there was a swamp.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Like, yeah, that's the part that blows my mind is I think there were probably those 4 or 8 years when everything was all good to us.
But we've all seen the Roger Ailes movie and show.
Yeah.
He knew that there was this whole portion of the country that was just being ignored.
Yeah.
No, I think what he knew was there is certain rhetoric that would get a bunch of people that were forgotten riled up and get them excited about what's going on in the country. And I think those are the people that are being exploited to the fullest. And, I have a Facebook friend, this woman, I think she's in Kentucky or Cincinnati or one of those. She posted a question like, I'm curious, this is just for my own curiosity. Are there any people here that voted for Trump that are now going to vote for Biden? Are there people that are still going to vote for Trump? And then are there people that were leaning towards Biden are now going to go to Trump? It was hundreds of comments. It is crazy out there. Crazy out there. The responses people are giving. Shockingly, a lot of people that voted for Trump are not voting for him. And this is in, I think, Ohio.
Yeah.
And so that I thought was really interesting. But the Trump follower is just doubling down on everything. Like about the virus, about jobs, about China, about everything. And it's like,
that's what's going to cause the Civil War. That group just got even more passionate and more detached from reality. And if you're doubling down on that, you're a psycho.
Well, and I think Kenosha, Wisconsin is now, I would say, the epicenter of America at this moment. Because between Jacob Blake shooting, the rioting and looting that it's happened, plus the protest, plus that little shitbag killing people, you take all of those incidents that have all happened in like 5 days, and now the president goes there, and he's not going there to like...
He's going there on behalf of Rittenhouse.
Yeah, he's going on behalf...
He's not going on behalf of social justice.
Yeah, on law and order, and saying we're gonna control this town, and we're gonna control Portland, and we're gonna control Chicago. That is the message that's going out there, and I don't know if I follow like 7 different people that are polling kind of the election. Trump's up in a lot of them.
Yeah, and I think
I'm telling you, man.
we kept saying like 2 months ago he needed that slogan, build that wall. He has the same tricks. He found his new trick.
He found it, and it's good. It's really good.
Yeah.
I mean, I know. We know firsthand. There's a lot of middle-aged white males that are like, don't defund the police. What's going on with these Democrats?
And you're talking about middle-aged white males like in LA.
Yes.
Can you imagine?
Oh yeah,
Minnesota. Like the 50-year-old white woman in Minnesota is like that's the new terrorist.
Yes.
She's like these left protesters.
Yeah, I mean, they are the version of immigrants, Mexicans and Muslims that he used in 2016.
That's the caravan.
Yeah, the Muslims are coming. The Mexicans are coming.
This is way better. This is way better because
they're already here.
They're already here, and you could point. Here's the problem. This is why it's so dangerous for Democrats. Is you could point to Kenosha, Wisconsin. You could point to Portland, and there are pictures and videos on television of shit burning to the ground. Yeah. I don't know if you guys saw this last night in LA. My friends who have a store on Melrose called Cool Kicks, someone ran a car into Cool Kicks. Ran a car. This is one of probably the most popular sneaker store in LA right now is Cool Kicks.
Yeah.
And they ran a freaking car through it. Like, it's obviously someone trying to rob the store or whatever, but like, that's the clip that's going to get played all over the country that LA is out of control. I just walked by Melrose just now. It's not out of control. And the same thing with Portland, where people are saying Portland looks like a war zone. And then people are like, I live 2 blocks away. I just walked my dog. Nothing's happening. Yeah. Or what's happening in Kenosha. It's just like the images of the news shows that the country is burning. And then the president is seeing that and saying, oh, I could take advantage of it.
They're just so good. They're just such good tacticians. Because now his daily press briefing, opens with the China virus and how the China really did a beauty on us. This is what he says. Yeah. And then he goes into Portland, Chicago, New York, are war zones. It's
and
China virus.
Cities.
Yeah.
Man, the caravan's here.
The caravan's here.
And they're in your backyard, and they don't even, a wall won't help this time. You need Trump.
So here's the best part about it. I want a Trump supporter. I know we don't have many that listen to us. Explain to me the logic. If the country is burning under President Trump, why would he be the right choice in 3 months?
Because it's the Democrats. This is why. This is honestly why. Yes, that's unfortunate. We're going to look over that because we're crazy. If you elect a Democrat, it all goes to hell.
Wisconsin was red. He won Wisconsin.
Too much information. Too many facts. Don't bother me with that.
Because now it's just radical mayors in Portland.
Yes. And a Democrat
Chicago,
president is
New
going to
York.
have socialism and rioting, and every town is going to be Portland. And Kenosha's middle of nowhere. Like, it's not like Portland. That's like, oh, that really could happen in my city.
I think the law and order, the white male vote may just be 99-1 Trump.
Yeah. And I'm telling you, the Karens. You think a Karen is even thinking about voting for Joe Biden? They are scared to death. Amy Cooper, you think she's going to allow rioting and looting?
Yeah,
no chance. She's Trump all the way. It's so crazy. And my bigger concern is I think along the way, you're going to burn the country to the ground, meaning when every campaign is based solely on what you should be afraid of, what happens is, even if Trump wins or loses, it doesn't matter. Everyone still now believes that there's Black Lives Matter murderers in their town.
Marxists.
Yeah. They believe that
Everyone's a Marxist.
Everyone's a Marxist. That's the go-to.
You know what's crazy is that the problem is when you do... So the young man that was murdered by Kyle Rittenhouse, Anthony Huber, the skateboard kid, I went and kind of started looking him up on social media, him and his friends. They put in their social media bios, his crew, that they are Marxist. And they say comrade. So like you start saying communist terms, you scare people. That's like America's biggest fear is socialism, Marxism, communism. These are things that we have grown up in our history to dislike. So when, there's probably a group of people saying Kyle Rittenhouse killed a communist.
Yeah. Oh, there's 100% a big group of people saying
There's a big Kyle Rittenhouse support group on Twitter.
Imagine this, though, real quick. 5 years ago, all we cared about was some kid standing in front of a Native American while he was beating a drum. 5 years later, the new version of that kid is shooting people in the street with an AR-15.
And everyone's running to his support. And he's been charged with murder.
Yeah, they love him. He has fan clubs.
Yes. Like Trump is going on behalf of the Rittenhouse fan club to Wisconsin.
But look, yes, he is. But look at the difference of this is exactly how we talked about, what's that kid's name?
Sandman.
This is how we talked about it. Like, wow, can you believe people really support him? This little fucker. Now this guy is carrying an AR-15 and murdering people, and it's the same thing.
Yes, it's the same group of people that are like, Sandman can't get a fair shake in this radical left country.
Yes.
Now it's
Rittenhouse murders Marxists. Go Rittenhouse. Crazy.
Yeah,
it's almost confirmed that this little fucker showed up because of a Facebook and militia group.
That is confirmed, I thought.
Yeah.
It is confirmed.
So,
yep. That doesn't matter. Marxist. But I will say on the side note, the left side is not good to have this Marxist element. Like, that is the worst case scenario for the left.
I honestly think the only way like the Democrats can stop this crazy momentum is go pro-police.
They are. If you saw Kamala Harris and Joe Biden last night, said, we will not allow this violence under our watch. This is happening under your president right now. I won't allow this.
Yeah, that's good. They have to do that.
And that tone, I watched a clip of the Joe Biden speech. He is like, fuck this. I'm taking control. I think that tone, if he keeps hammering it too, he goes, because here's the real answer, and you said it. This is happening under President Trump. This is not happening under Joe Biden.
Yep.
It is your fault. 180,000 people died. Streets are burning. Millions unemployed. This is the only president that is going to have net job loss under his watch in like 100 years.
Yep, 100%. They just have to get that message across. Because I think Trump is so good at marketing and fear that we're going to have socialism.
And like, sadly, just if you kind of play the political calculus, the people that are marching to defund the police and saying that aren't going to vote.
No, and they don't know what defund the police means.
Correct.
Yeah, 100%. I would say as we consider ourselves left, we should look out for the Marxist thing the same way that the right should look out for like straight up racism, white supremacy. Like it might help you get some quick votes or something. Long term, it's a bad idea, right?
Yes.
You should denounce white supremacy in the Republican Party. Don't tie those two things together. I think this Marxist thing is our version of that because there is a lot of it floating around. And that's what scares maybe that person who was on the edge. Yeah. That is scary to them.
And I saw in conservative right media, there was some protest. I forget what city it was. They were chanting "Debt to America."
Yeah.
And that's obviously an isolated small group. But if you are consuming conservative media, the Bidens are debt to America. Not in this day. Why are they chanting "Debt to America"?
Yeah. Yeah, that's our white supremacy, I'm telling you.
Yeah, I mean, and I think the other thing is that there is this enormous momentum in the Senate races, and you're seeing pretty tight in Arizona, in Kentucky, which is Mitch McConnell, Amy McGrath, the Democrat, she's like rising in the polls. In South Carolina, Jamie Harrison against Lindsey Graham. Those are actually in play. Like it's still a miracle that needs to happen, but these people are raising money like they're running for president on the left. And Mitch McConnell, do you know who runs the grassroots campaign for Mitch McConnell? This is amazing.
Who?
Nicholas Sandman.
No.
Yes.
Imagine when fucking Rittenhouse has a job working on someone's campaign. Or like at the NRA or something. He's a lobbyist.
I guarantee you Rittenhouse could pack 10,000 seats in the
Tomorrow.
sun. Yes.
Oh my god!
So what I was thinking was, I loaded
Rittenhouse
my
is
AR-15.
is like the AR-15 Rosa Parks.
Yeah. To that crowd,
He's a hero.
I can't believe this guy. I mean, rest in peace. I can't believe this guy had. I didn't know this guy had a Marxist social media bio.
I mean, his crew did. But they kept saying comrade.
I know.
You only say comrade if you're.
Yeah. Okay. Was there a shooting in L.A.? Is L.A. the next? What's going on here?
There was a L.A. County sheriff incident, a fatal shooting of a black man. I think he was 18 years old. 29 years old. Dijon Kizzy. Apparently, he was on a bicycle. He was being chased. Ran into some streets on the 1200 block of West 109th. And he said he punched. The deputies are saying that the man punched the cop and that he had a black gun in his bundle of stuff. And then they shot him and killed him.
And so people are saying they don't believe that story because, it's starting to build some steam.
Yeah, there was a huge protest in downtown last night, and it's definitely like picking up steam in LA because there was also an incident a few months back that people have been protesting about with an 18-year-old kid. So I think that like every city, LA is bubbling, New York is bubbling, and every time there is an incident, it's just one more step closer to like full-blown combustion. And that's, they were tying, so what the media is tying in what happened at Cool Kicks to this protest, that there was some leftover protesters in the area in Hollywood and someone just rammed their car in. If people that don't know, Cool Kicks is like stocked with the hottest shoes and hottest everything on earth, which is why people want to rob it, right? Yep. I don't think it was the first time either people have tried to rob that store. I think the Santa Monica store had some issues during the protest early on. So it's just, these big cities with diverse communities are the ones that are at risk, which are also led by Democratic mayors. So politically, it doesn't look good. Because someone in Brentwood would be like, the city's out of control.
Yeah, and every version of Brentwood in every city, every city has a Brentwood.
I wouldn't even say Brentwood. I bet you if you went to folks in West Hollywood and Beverly Hills, say the same thing.
Yeah, for sure.
I would say, look, even the Valley on Sunday had a Trump rally. So it was like maybe 500 people roaming down Ventura Boulevard. That those that don't know, Ventura Boulevard is like the main street in the Valley. And a huge caravan of like 500-600 people. And then, they were screaming and yelling what they were doing. People were screaming and yelling at them. And then at the end, and in Woodland Hills, someone from an apartment complex picked off 2 cars with like some gun and barricaded themselves. We are entering a point where like, I don't want to be causing to the flame, but you see incidents. Every time there is a Black Lives Matter protest, there are instigators on the other side. And if there's a Trump protest, there's instigators on the other side. Those are going to get ugly. There's just
and
no
as of the
question about it.
last 2 weeks, everyone has freaking guns.
Yes. And that's,
literally, this is 2 weeks old now. We've had protests for 4 years back about these issues. The last 2 weeks, people are shooting.
Yeah, and so it can just get out of hand. These people are reckless. They don't care about their life. I mean, that's why they're out there screaming and yelling crazy shit. And so,
I mean, it goes back to how toxic social media is, because you can go down whatever rabbit hole you choose to. If you want the storyline that America's burning, you can find 100 cases of that.
Yeah.
If you want it's the most racist country in the world, you can find 100 cases of that.
I mean, remember the stories like 8 years ago of the kid from New Jersey who took a flight to Jordan and made his way because he got radicalized online? That's happening now to people left and right in our own country.
In the biggest cities in the country.
Yeah. And you're going out instead and like shooting fellow Americans.
Yeah, it's madness.
This is crazy town. Okay, well, we'll see what happens. I just feel like up until and through November, it is going to be all out madness.
The problem is it's going to get way worse after the election. Look, think about it. Let's go 2 scenarios. Joe Biden wins. Donald Trump's not going to accept that?
No.
Why would he accept that?
And neither will his followers.
It's not in his best interest. He will look like a hero if he says, no, you fooled me. You screwed me.
You stole the election. You stole the election.
Scammed.
Just put it up in courts. And January, we don't have a president. And let anarchy begin. It is good for the Republican Party to have anarchy. They know how to exploit that.
Yeah.
That is where I think all our stock market predictions actually happen. Biden wins on election night. Trump says the election doesn't count. The stock market doesn't like uncertainty. Stock market tolerated 180,000 deaths with no problem, and every small business being cratered, and still we're shut down largely as a country, and we can't travel.
But I want that. Yeah. I want to believe that, but Amazon could do a 5-for-1 split, and now it could stock. Like Tesla and Apple have gone up significantly from stock splits. It is fucking nuts. Nobody cares about anything.
No.
We're going to get into it on the business side of it, of today's pod, of more IPOs to come.
Okay, yeah, well, let's talk about it. First, one thing before we go to ad break. MBS, the Saudi Crown Prince. We have this story about is this sort of his like pre-Crown Prince party? This was 2015?
Yeah, so he wasn't the Crown Prince yet.
Okay, so it's like his going away party from his previous life.
It's like his bar mitzvah.
Yeah. And this thing was just bananas. You want to talk about the other side of the world that is not protesting down Ventura Boulevard and shooting rifles. Can you give me some details?
Yeah, this story is nuts. First, he flew in 150 models from Brazil, Russia, and elsewhere to a private island in the Maldives.
Okay.
Women were brought in first, and they were first tested for STDs.
Oh, my gosh.
And once they were tested clean, they were welcome on the island. And then MBS decided to bring his buddies. The cost of this lovely party was $50 million.
I just want to say, it sounds like he had COVID testing figured out way pre-COVID.
He 300 staffers on the resort, each got a $5,000 bonus. Most of them make like $1,000 a month. There were no phones allowed for any of the staffers except for a Nokia 3310 just to make phone calls. And then he pretty much threw the biggest party. He had Pitbull. I didn't know Gangnam Style was still hot in 2015. He had Psy.
Wow.
Afrojack. He was also supposed to get Jennifer Lopez and Shakira. Apparently they flaked. He had his handlers would give him alcohol because he can't be drinking alcohol given his job. Yeah. And you know, eventually after like a couple days, word got out that these guys were in town partying. He had to shut it down. He quickly left and then got rid of, sent all the women home. He thought that was not the way to kind of play ball. So he decided to go a different route. He bought a $500 million yacht that has 48,000 square feet of party space, jacuzzi, submarine dock, underwater viewing room. And then near the dock of his boat, he bought a French chateau for $300 million. So it keeps his parties private and kind of allow him to do everything. So pretty much there's a book coming out by your guys' favorite dude who wrote Billion Dollar Whale.
Nice.
Co-author of Billion Dollar Whale. And it's called Blood and Oil. And it's pretty much MBS's rise to power. This is going to be the movie. This is going to be like Jordan Belfort. What was that movie called? Wolf of Wall Street.
Yeah.
Times 5 trillion.
Wow.
So it's actually fascinating a few things. One, in the book, and I guess they're going to chronicle this, is that he didn't grow up like the other princes. Like his family, his direct family, had money, of course, but not this kind of money. And he went to school in Saudi Arabia for college, while most of the other princes of that stature would go to like Harvard or Stanford, the big schools abroad. And he navigated this whole world coming. I want to say like almost like an underdog. Like, and he did it by 30. So he's obviously not a great dude, but just from a power grabbing, like it's insane that he was able to grab that much power. Like, how did he do it?
Yep. I don't know. I'm buying the book on
Blackmail,
Amazon.
corruption.
No, I know, but to
Usual
do
thing.
all that by such a young age is insane. You're basically battling tons of princes that know once you get to that level, it's just unlimited money where you get to buy the $500 million yacht, the $300 million house, and then eventually run the country. And it's fascinating to me that he was almost, I want to say, an outsider from just the closest to the power of the king, and he somehow figured it out.
I'll tell you what, I'm ordering the book on Amazon as we speak. I'll let you know how it all went down.
Get 2 copies. I'll actually read this one.
Okay, deal.
And what's scary for the writer, I think he's a Wall Street Journal writer that wrote the $1 Billion Whale. If it's the same guy, Cholo can't kill you. MBS can.
Yeah.
So be careful.
I mean, you've seen what he's capable of. He showed us.
Yeah.
You know, it's not really up for debate.
No, and he can kill you anywhere.
Oh my gosh. Okay, well, I just imagine like freaking Afrojack or whoever that was there. Like, the life of these DJs is just insane, because if you make it to that like group, you know, of 10 DJs, you're the guy that they want at all these things.
Yeah.
Like, I bet these guys' stories of the parties that they've DJ'd that we don't even know about are insane.
Oh, yeah.
Like all the Jolo ones. Everyone had these big DJs.
Yeah, I would think
I'm sure
Diplo.
Calvin Harris.
Can you imagine what Diplo's the situations he's been in?
Calvin Harris.
Calvin Harris, Marshmello now.
They're like, hey, we're going to pay you $2 million and you're going to land in the Maldives with an island full of pre-STD checked women.
Yeah.
We just want to hear that new, you know.
I forget, someone told me that Bruno Mars, I want to say off the books, like about concerts that we never hear about, he makes almost equally as much on those, like showing up for $5 million to some prince or king, showing up to a wedding for $5 million, that he does in touring.
Yeah. I mean, I'd rather do those than go on a tour.
I mean, it takes no effort. I've been to some people's weddings where superstars show up, they get to mail it in. It's so easy.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, I'm just saying, I saw Nas at both of your guys' weddings, so you tell me. You tell me.
Explain that one.
You tell me.
We can't afford him.
There also was that weird blood test I got right before I showed up. Okay. All right. Well, we'll let that one sink in while we go to some ads, and then we'll get back with some stock market news. Pete, it's all you.
All right, guys, welcome back to the ad portion of this podcast. Now, I would simply start by just saying, I told you so. That's right. At the beginning of this episode, you heard about all the specials and the cool deals coming for the Menlo Club and over at themenlohouse.com. So I'm going to simply say, don't miss out any longer. Don't wait any longer. The savings always come in. So don't wait any longer. Head over to themenlohouse.com if you're not already a part of the Menlo Club and join today. That's it. That's all I've got. That's what I'm bringing you today. More specials and more fun things coming later this week. So stay tuned. Make sure you're following us on all of our socials. We'll talk about it there too. But that's it. That's done. I got to get going. I got a call to take. Very, very busy, man. Many people say I'm the busiest guy here. A lot of people say. Okay, that's it. That's all I got. Thank you, guys. Love as always.
Okay, we're back. All right, so the stock market has now turned into essentially like Instagram or YouTube, right? It's like if the most amount of young people find out about it and like it, the value goes up.
Yes.
Seems to be the case.
That is exactly what it is. Stock market has become, if you have a powerful brand, you can win. So, you know, the Tesla's the best example. Apple is another great example. These are brands that your retail investors love, and they never go down. They literally have not gone down in months and months. Elon Musk is richer than Mark Zuckerberg now.
On no new information about the
Mark Zuckerberg
company.
runs Facebook Instagram, WhatsApp, and Elon Musk is richer from a car company that doesn't sell that many cars.
Or make money.
Yeah, he's got like a lot of good ideas.
Prints cash.
Yes.
Facebook literally prints cash.
Yeah.
And it's just, it's really, really interesting. If this is, so I do think this is a bubble, but I also think this is a shift. And the shift is, if you like, you know how like there are certain people that can sell clothes and there's certain people that can't sell clothes. Yep. It's the same thing that's going to go to the stock market. And what's happening is the rush of IPOs, if you have a cult following, like Dave Portnoy should spin out Barstool and take it public.
Totally.
I agree. Barstool will be on fire.
On fire.
If Nikola doesn't even do anything, and it was $20 billion.
Yeah.
Penn National Gaming is at a record high, and they're riddled with debt. Their casinos are not fully capacity. It's just because they have a small stake in Barstool.
Penn should just change they should just swap. Like, we're Barstool now.
And we have all these other properties. The CEO.
Yeah.
Everyone would become rich. It'd be a $20 billion company. Peloton is $23 billion. Barstool is more powerful than Peloton.
For sure. What's Penn's market cap?
I don't know. Let me check.
In the
like
billions.
Rough? Like a couple billion, though?
Yeah, because
single digit?
I think it's even more.
I mean, the stock was, I think, up 10x since the bottom of the pandemic.
So then it would be $50 billion with Portnoy if it was Barstool.
I think it could do Tesla numbers, $450 billion.
$8 billion.
Why not?
I like Dave.
Penn is $8 billion.
I'd buy some Barstool.
Yeah.
I'd be a Barstool bro.
Yeah. Why not, man? This is what I don't get is like, you talk about some people being able to make clothes, some people can't, but that's true. But when that happens, some people make money, some people don't. The people who know how to make the clothes make the money. Here, you're making so much money, even if the revenue and the profit and none of that matters.
None of it matters. And here's the funny thing. When Tesla was in the 400s, I think 420 exactly, Elon violated every SEC rule and said he wants to go private.
Yep.
And he said he had the financing.
I think that was before that. I think it was, I want to go private. 420, he made a 420 joke. And then he said at around 420, Tesla stock is overpriced in my opinion.
Yeah, that was what I was getting to. You have the founder and current CEO of a company saying his stock is overvalued, and it's gone up 6x since.
Because these kids are like, you're not fooling me, Elon. No. Look at this joke Elon just played.
And it gets crazier because, so Laird Hamilton, the surfer, has a brand called Laird Superfoods. I guess the superfood, business. They only did $19 million in the last 12 months. $19 million. Mm-hmm. They did not make a dime. They lost money. I'm trying to look up how much money they lost. I don't want to misquote it, but I think I saw some big number. Mm-hmm. They filed to go public because they know Laird Hamilton is like a culty following guy.
Yeah, Laird Hamilton puts a tank top on, American sports hero.
Laird Hamilton has a core, serious following.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? That's great.
He's going to make a killing.
$40 million IPO, it says.
Yeah, so they're trying to raise $40 million, and they're just doing it via an IPO. Good for them. Stock quadrupled.
$8 million Laird Superfood lost. $8 million.
So 19 in revenue?
If they're raising... so they're probably going to be valued at a couple $100 million, $2 billion. I think it goes to right away.
And what's crazy is...
Laird's a great guy. He's really funny, cool, fit.
Well, the ice baths, isn't he famous?
Ice bath, he does underwater workouts in his pool in Malibu. All the celebs go.
That's great. Now he gets to take his company. It's going public is now the new... It's like everyone should go public. And the thing about it is what people don't realize. So like Tesla, arguably financially, is a horrendous business still. Okay? Mm-hmm. But their stock is so high, he just did a secondary offering and raised another $5 billion today. He raised more money. So Genius. He's getting free money. He's selling stock, keep raising money. The business is going to work eventually and be profitable. When you're armed with $20 billion, you can go figure out any business. And so Laird Superfood, not a good business if you look at their financials, but you give them $40 million, they may figure it out. Yeah. They may figure it out.
So this is actually what I actually don't have an issue with Tesla and Elon being this rich, because I genuinely don't think Elon gives a fuck about money. He probably hasn't in a long time. Like after the first billion, he's probably like, great, I'm good.
Yeah.
He's actually trying to solve the world's problems.
Yeah.
And he's actively doing it.
How many threesomes he can have in a day?
No, but
Also true.
That's fine. Let him do all that. But the Tesla car is definitely revolutionary.
Yeah.
The Boring Company is potentially revolutionary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
SpaceX is revolutionary.
I think he legitimately wants to get us to the moon because he thinks that's how you continue the human race.
Yeah.
I think
Mars,
I mean.
Yeah.
Mars. I think he legitimately believes that.
Yeah.
I don't think this is some sort of marketing ploy.
Yeah, I agree. I think a lot of those people believe
You know who should
in that,
go public
and I think-
tomorrow? VaynerMedia.
Yes.
What
Easily.
are you waiting for? To me, it literally feels like how 2 years ago we would talk about like how CEOs all need to have a following. People need to know your company. This is like the modern day version of that. If you have any following and are popular at all, go public. Let your fans fund your company. It's literally like GoFundMe on steroids.
Oh, yeah. I mean, think about it. Every Jenner should go public. Every Jenner.
Oh, my. Are you kidding?
Every Jenner and Kardashian. There should be a Kourtney IPO, a Khloe IPO, a Kim IPO, a Kendall IPO, a Kylan, a Mason Disick IPO.
Yeah.
Screw it. Get
Penelope,
all of it.
I think Penelope's one of them. I'll tell you what, Northwest, I'd be willing to put a couple bucks into.
I mean, I'd rather own stock in Northwest than Southwest.
Stormy.
Oh, that was a good one.
Stormy is a good SPAC.
I mean, Kylie Jenner could be worth $20 billion tomorrow.
Yeah, if these loser companies are going public, Kylie Jenner's cosmetic probably shits cash.
Yeah.
She should definitely go public.
Yeah.
20 billion is nothing. Peloton is trash. I don't care what anyone says. That company is overvalued. Kylie Jenner could do more business than Peloton in 5 years.
D's like the people shorting Tesla that all went broke because they at every stock price they said Tesla's overvalued. That's his Peloton.
Yeah.
At $6 billion, it was overvalued.
Yeah.
Are you
At
still
24, it's a steal.
You still in on a short on that, or?
Oh, I got so creamed I had to close them out.
Okay. Yeah, I just feel like you're going to have this modern day GoFundMe influencer style.
You should.
Piece
It's a
of the
gold
market.
rush. It's a gold rush. Like SPACs are going to be over in like 6 months, but like going public, they're loosening the laws. They're going to change because they know the reporting and all that shit was too rigorous. They're like, you just have to report once a year, not every quarter.
You know what's rigorous? But if you talk to every smart person, even all the smart people that made a killing in this market, they're terrified.
Yeah,
they just don't know when it's going to end. But they also don't want to miss out on the run. So they're all torn.
So David Einhorn is one of the biggest investors. He's down like 17% this year, made only 0.5% in August. The market went nuts in August. All these big funds aren't doing well.
No, the big funds
hedging.
all missed because they had shorts on because they were just like, we don't really trust the market. Yeah. Even the biggest funds that you would have thought would have made a killing are single-digit returns.
Yeah.
Take off your shorts.
Yeah. I mean, Tim Apple in our studio made 42% on Apple, and he bought it 60 days ago.
Tim Apple's rich.
He
just resigned today. Yeah. And he actually said he was thinking about investing in group chat.
I mean, I'm sure if we went public, we did like what? Zero revenue, zero profits. Like
sounds like 40 million to me. I mean, let me blow 8 million. We could figure out how to do 19 million in revenue.
Yeah, exactly.
Sheesh. Okay. All right. Also Zoom. We didn't talk about Zoom.
No.
Why not?
Anand's favorite company, Zoom, soaring.
Ban them.
Revenue has quadrupled from last year for obvious reasons. Plus, everyone knows about it. So get in.
It's up 40% today.
Tim?
40%.
Tim Apple, you could have bought Zoom yesterday and matched your Apple returns. Why'd you wait 60 days? What you can do in one?
Come on, Tim.
I know.
I'm
no Davey.
I like those, tweets where people say, if you had invested $1,000 in Amazon, if you had invested $1,000 in Zoom last week, you'd have $2,000.
Yeah.
If you invested $1,000 in March on Tesla, you'd have like 20 grand.
Yeah, Tim, you should make a stock advice video about your Apple.
Oh, yeah?
Should I post it to the group chat story?
Yeah.
You know,
should.
every Robinhood option trader was long Zoom yesterday. They probably made an absolute killing. Because they're like, oh, Zoom earnings, easy, going up.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what? Peloton?
Easy. Going up.
Peloton earnings are coming out. I won't bet it because I fucking hate the company.
It'll be up
but,
25, 30%.
It's going to go up. They're going to crush earnings.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Easy.
I just see a world where there's like I see a world where there's literally like it looks like that. Like all of these little companies are public and this way you look at the stock market just changes. And Robinhood like becomes like everyone has Robinhood. Like you just like you have your Robinhood gurus that are on, you know, Instagram and YouTube. But everyone has Robinhood. Everyone's investing in Kylie Jenner and VaynerMedia.
Yeah, because the thing is right now, this first wave, a lot of these companies are like, they're questionable to be going public. There are some A-list names like Airbnb that's coming out. There are good companies coming out, like rocket companies that came out. That's a great business. But like Wish is going public. $11 billion valuation. I don't know if people know what Wish is. Wish is essentially connecting a lot of Chinese factories to people to shop all over the world. It is mainly fake shit.
Yep. I wish it was real.
Yeah, like literally, I wish it was real. I mean, it is so much. Like they're literally letting somebody. It's like letting a bootlegger go public.
Think about also
why not?
Like
Zoom's
we
worth-
might as well go down Santee Alley and Canal Street.
IPOs.
IPO. You sell fake Jordans. I'd rather invest in the guy that sells fake Jordans rather than fake other stuff.
So I think Zoom's gonna do what, a couple billion in revenue this year, right?
Yeah.
Worth more than Cisco. Cisco does 50+ billion in revenue and profitable. Cisco
That's
is.
terrible.
Yeah, but I don't have my morning calls on Cisco now, do I?
Yeah. Cisco's greasy, isn't it?
Never heard
oil?
of it.
Yeah.
Yellow guy with yellow hair. What's Cisco?
Yeah, exactly. That dong. Who would want to bet on him?
Yeah.
There's a funny story. Who knows if it's true, but it's gone viral on Twitter. That the founder of Zoom pitched Zoom while he worked at Cisco and left, and they said it was stupid, and he left and started Zoom.
Really?
And now Zoom's worth more than Cisco.
Oh, look at that. See, that's the type of story that makes these stocks go up. If I'm 18 and got my Robinhood account, I'm like, I'm betting on that guy.
I mean, can you imagine Airbnb? It will fly. Every Robinhood trader is going to go log Airbnb.
Airbnb I was thinking 100 billion. It may be $1 trillion on first day.
Tim's going to buy some Airbnb.
I might buy some Airbnb.
I was playing Airbnb.
I won't need this job anymore.
Can you pre-order stocks?
That's an IPO process.
You know what I would do if I was Airbnb to pump my stock? I'm just like, the month we go public, nobody rent an Airbnb, just buy our stock.
Right?
Yeah. Yep.
It'll be worth $1 trillion.
100%. That's what's happening anyway.
It's a joke.
I can't believe.
Finance is a joke. The whole industry is a joke. You guys are clowns.
Portnoy has
Portnoy made it clear.
done some very good content around that. Like, how did I not realize this earlier?
Yeah.
His video, I think we all watched it, where he said, I knew you suits were up to something. Your private planes and big houses, while I was an idiot delivering newspapers.
Yeah.
You guess what you're up to? Nothing.
Nothing.
So like a guy like Portnoy, who didn't sound like I'm sure he had his money invested through a money manager. Do you think he's actually just in disbelief privately?
Yes.
Like, this is a fucking joke?
Yes.
I think so.
I'm in disbelief.
Yeah.
I'm in disbelief, and I've been watching this my whole life, and I'm just still like, oh my God, what are we doing? We're morons.
We are morons. He keeps posting a video that Tesla needs to split again, and then it's his face on a gymnast doing the splits because the stock will keep going up.
See, he's good, man. I feel like he got kind of stale there for a second, and he's back.
Yeah, he's back.
On the day trading stuff.
I think because he had Corona for a few weeks.
That's true. That'll do it. Yeah. That will do it. Okay, and then what about checking in with Amazon? This seems like, to me, I mean, stock going up. they got FAA approval for their drone delivery service. So we're one step closer to Amazon drones flying all around.
That's crazy. So that was the famous 60 Minutes interview Jeff Bezos did, where everyone's like, it's a publicity stunt. Drones are never going to be delivering packages. I think that interview was like 10 years ago, wasn't it? It felt like 10 years ago.
Seems like it.
But we're now getting closer and closer to drone delivery in America with the FAA approving it. Obviously, I don't know how far along and what the logistics look like, but man, Amazon just looks unstoppable from here. Get out of their way. Get out of their way.
Why don't they split? Too expensive.
They should. If they do a 20-for-1 split and make the stock like $60 or something.
Oh my God!
Why is it 3,500?
35? Oh, 3,500. So no, you gotta do like a 100 to 1 split.
They need a split.
That's what I'm saying. Why? But I mean,
I would put every.
Why
dollar.
would you see what just happened to Tesla and
Tim Apple
and not? Why would you just cruise along
everyone
with
should
35?
split. Everyone should split. It's a joke. It's like, even if you're a $30 stock, you should split to a 10 because people actually think it's cheap because it's at 10.
Yeah, it should be as close to $1 as possible.
Yeah, Amazon bargain. Like, do it on Prime Day.
Do
Just
that.
it's a discount.
Yeah, discount. It's $150. You can get Amazon stock.
If Amazon did a 3,500 to 1 split,
Yes.
right?
On Black Friday.
It would go to $2.
Instantly.
It would be it would be a $5 trillion
That should
company.
be their Black Friday plan.
It should, man. You're so right. You're so right. It would instantly do that. Because even like the fractional share thing, like
If it was $1, I'd buy it. Not gonna lie.
Of course. You buy a few. Buy 5. Okay. Then last thing we have is what's the update on TikTok? This is too good. What's the update on TikTok?
The TikTok update?
Yeah.
The CEO obviously quit. That's our first update.
Okay.
Then
The CEO of the U.S.
looks like
vehicle.
CEO was the Disney guy, right?
The Disney guy who was the U.S. based CEO to mask it from from being a Chinese company.
Yep.
And then this deadline, which we've heard November 15th. Now it looks like it's back to September 15th. September 15th, ladies and gentlemen, is 14 days away.
Yep.
You better get all your dances in.
Man.
Well, we got a hot tip from a listener who says that the deadline is actually November 15th, not September 15th. He has a buddy that works at TikTok, and that's what he was told.
But Chinese government has now stick their hat in the race and said, we have to approve the buyer.
Of course
we
they
have to
do. It's
approve
their
the deal.
asset.
Yeah, so they're not going to approve it. Why would they approve it?
I don't know. Makes China look so powerful to their citizens right now because China is open. They defeated the China virus. And I'm sure nationalism and national pride, when you look at what's going on in American media and what's going on in the streets, can you imagine the news they're probably delivering to Chinese citizens? Like, America's on fire. Right?
Oh, for sure. For sure. I feel like a lot of countries are probably doing that.
Yeah.
Because they want us to be, I don't know.
Yeah, and everyone wants us to fail.
There's a lot of resentment, over the years.
So, yeah, I just don't see why China would approve a sale. It makes no sense to me.
No, it's stupid.
Well, I just read a thing that Eric Murillo found dead in Miami.
Yeah.
Yeah. R.I.P.
Sheesh, I didn't
Huge
know
Eric
that.
Murillo fan.
Sheesh.
There's no
got
details
this-
yet, right? They just said he was found dead in Miami Beach.
Yeah.
Yeah, unfortunately,
49.
I don't want to speculate, but that's never a good sign.
No. Okay. Yeah. Okay, let's get into, that was kind of my little precursor, I guess. Seen on social, and then we'll wrap it up. Dee, what did you see on social media in the last week that we need to know about?
It was going to be the Cool Kick store just getting mowed
Yep.
down.
Yeah.
Because I saw that all over social media yesterday. But that was it.
I went over there after work, actually. I saw it on Twitter when you reposted it, and then had left work shortly after. And again, what went over there? There was nothing happening on Melrose. I couldn't even, I thought like more commotion would be going on. I'd be able to find it. I had to actually Google map it because
Wow.
I thought it would have been more. But yeah, nothing was.
That's crazy. As seen on social, this is where it gets really dangerous. It's hysterical, but if you search Twitter right now, trending, the number one trending topic is Antifa Airlines. So Trump this morning...
What airline is that?
American?
Trump this morning claims Biden's sending people dressed in all black on planes to cities to protest and riot and loot. And he was asked in the news interview, like, where are you seeing this? He goes, I don't know. I saw it somewhere. We'll find out. Well, it's under investigation, like Tim pointed out. And now there's all these memes going around, Antifa Airlines nonstop to these cities. And it's probably liberal people making a joke of it.
Yeah.
But if you're conservative, you're like, they've got an airline now?
You're right. Yeah, I don't listen. I remember in 2016 there was a friend of the family who I won't disclose back in Ohio who legitimately believed that terrorists were coming over the border.
Yeah.
And that the wall was needed. And like hearing the way that they said it, truly believed it. So like I just know that there's those same people that are like, oh, you know, like it's just a fact. You know that
Antifa's here.
I heard they're flying. I heard we're on the tour stop this week.
So I'm curious, you should need to get the pulse of what's going on in the minds of people in Ohio. Do they believe the liberals are burning down America?
Yeah, I'll do some research on that because I think yes. I think yes, for sure.
I think so too.
And I think that there's a lot of like police. There's a strong other side to all of this police brutality. There's another side that says the police are good and these people should stop getting in trouble.
The Blue Lives Matter crew.
Yeah, there's a lot of that.
That's the silent majority.
Yeah, 100%. Because especially like, you know, like the thing in, what's the guy's name again? Blake.
Jacob Blake.
Like the way that story, I don't know that I don't want to get into it at all, but there's the way that the story is where they're saying he had a restraining order and was reaching for a knife. And like, that's just enough for these people to be like, okay, so now cops doing their job, you're going to come to, like, it's just too muddy for those people to.
Yeah, we've almost switched the entire storyline. So George Floyd, I'm not trying to politicize death, but if you just want to talk it in the lens of politics, George Floyd's death was seen as beneficial to the left.
Yeah.
Now I feel like every subsequent death that is in that fashion is beneficial to the right.
Yeah, especially if the thing about George Floyd was you couldn't really, like, even Ben Shapiro said what we saw there was murder.
Yes.
Like, you can't really get out of that. But these other ones, you can't. Like, you can kind of wiggle your way and be like, okay, well, the guy was reaching for a knife. He wasn't supposed to be there. He was sexual assault, all this stuff. What do you expect?
Yeah, and the Ben Shapiro types, which wasn't working back then, during the the height of the George Floyd anger, was that, yes, that was murder, but then you don't have to burn our cities down.
Yeah.
That whole kind of narrative wasn't working back then.
Yeah.
It works now.
Yes, because I think what happened is it was actually working for a small group. Kind of like we just talked about in 2016. It was catching. But then but the George Floyd thing was just so insane that you couldn't really. So now there's these other ones, and now any police killing like is going to get highlighted because there's a lot of people really frustrated about that. Now that side is really like building up, saying, okay, so just anyone. So now we're going to ban all cops. We're going to defund police. We're going to whatever. So it's really easy to build a case for that side of like, I stand behind cops and stop doing crimes.
Yeah. And Republicans are great tacticians, and they've found what they're going to drill in our heads for the next 60 days.
Yeah.
Yep.
But in the meantime, man, we're just going to hit November and it's going to be an all-out war.
Yep.
Because everyone's going to be scared to death, too. Antifa Airlines, nonstop. your hometown.
I love it. I'd fly Antifa Air. It's probably a fun ride.
Yeah, a lot of comrades.
Yeah, my comrades will be there.
Think about the shit he's going to make up in the next 60 days. Trump.
Oh, they're spinning. You know their wheels are turning.
They probably were so bummed out 60 days ago.
Yep.
Like, how's the Donald going to figure this one out?
Who'd they get in there, man? Who's their ghostwriter?
I don't know.
Whoever's in there in the writer's room is
Yeah.
doing good.
I think his strategy, just hurl as many insults and ridiculous conspiracy theories that you can possibly hurl and just see which ones resonate.
Yeah, he's really good at that, crowdsourcing, seeing what's sticking.
Yes.
Okay, mine is quick. I just simply saw a news story that wasn't quite big enough for us to talk about. Apparently, R. Kelly got the shit kicked out of him in prison.
Yeah.
And pretty
It's
bad.
crazy.
So I just thought we'd cover that.
Better to be pissed than pissed on.
Inappropriate.
Indeed.
Not-
On that note.
On that note, we'll see you later. Okay, do we have shout outs? Do we have time?
Yeah,
We
we can run. Quick birthday shout outs. We got Hunter, who's turning 23 on September 4th.
Woo!
He's out in Pace University, a new grad student. I've actually been out to Pace University. My friend went to law school out there, so I'm familiar with it. He
Happy
wants to say
birthday,
hey to all
Hunter.
the Baltimore. Yeah, Hunter, all the Baltimore listeners. Hakeem, his birthday's on September 1st. That's today. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Hakeem.
A long-time listener. And he's the one that actually sent us that NASCAR gear. We were wondering where that came from.
Thank you,
Hakeem. Now we can wear it because it's from a safe place.
Yep.
And then Aaron Husman, born in Sioux Center, Iowa on September 2nd, 1985, turning 35 on Wednesday. Aaron is a partner, at Anaheim Studios. Happy birthday. He's about to have his first kid on October 10th. He's been to all of our live events. And it's a, big birthday.
Well, shit, yeah. All right, happy birthday, guys.
Happy birthday to you.
We got to run. Actually, we got to run because we are developing a big group chat project. So we'll keep you in the loop. But let me just tell you, things are about to change around here. Okay? You're about to see a lot more of our faces. Anyone excited? Anyone care?
Nope. Okay. Thanks for
All right. Make sure you hit us up on Instagram, Group Chat Pod, Twitch, Group Chat Pod, Twitter, Group Chat Pod 1, unfortunately, Pete.
Working on it.
MelroseStreetJournal.com for all of our articles.
Sure is.
And subscribe to our newsletter and then rate and review us on the podcast app or the iTunes app on your phone. Thank you guys so much. We'll be back on Friday.
Friday.
Thursday evening.
Right.
Technically. Bye-bye.